Today, we're going to dive into some really powerful ideas from the book Money Works. The goal here? To completely transform your relationship with money and get you started on the road to real financial freedom. So, let me just ask you a straight up question. Are you really sure you understand how money works? I know, it sounds simple, right? But the answer might just surprise you. And to show you what I mean, I've got a quick story for you. Get this. This is MacArthur Wheeler. Now, MacArthur here had a brilliant idea. He knew that lemon juice works as invisible ink on paper. So he figured if he just rubbed it all over his face, he'd be invisible to security cameras. I'm not kidding. And of course, he was arrested that very night, totally shocked and confused about how they caught him. Now, it's easy to laugh, but this bizarre story tells us something really important about ourselves. And that story, believe it or not, is the perfect jumping off point for our first section. Because before we can even begin to talk about budgets or investing, we have to start with the single most important thing, our financial mindset. You see, MacArthur Wheeler is basically the poster child for something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's this weird quirk of the human brain where we are so unaware of our own blind spots that we end up feeling way too confident. And this is a huge deal when it comes to money. A lot of us think we've got our finances under control, when in reality, we might as well be walking around with lemon juice on our faces. So what's the fix? How do you avoid the financial version of the lemon juice incident? Well, the legendary Warren Buffett put it perfectly. The absolute best investment you can ever make isn't in stocks, it's not in property, it's in yourself, in your own financial education. And hey, that's exactly what we're doing right now. Okay, so now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get practical. The very first step on any journey is figuring out where you're starting from. And in the world of finance, that starting point is your net worth. Now, don't let the term net worth sound intimidating. It's actually super simple. Your assets are all the things you own that have value. Your house, your savings, investments. Your liabilities are just what you owe, things like loans or credit card debt. You just subtract your liabilities from your assets and boom, that's your net worth. Think of it like your personal financial scorecard. Let's make this real. Take a look at these two guys. On the left, we've got Mahesh. His assets are way bigger than his liabilities, so he has a positive net worth of over 10 lakh rupees. That's 1 million rupees. Now look at Rahul on the right. His liabilities from loans and credit cards are huge, much bigger than his assets, leaving him with a negative net worth of almost 9 lakh. They're the same age, but they are living in completely different financial worlds. This huge difference really brings us to a fork in the road, a fundamental choice that every single one of us has to make. Are we actively building our wealth, or are we falling into a dangerous trap? Let's look at the two paths you can go down, the debt spiral versus the savings mindset. Okay, this right here is a total game changer. Most of us think about our money like this. Income minus my expenses equals whatever is left for savings, right? But people who are good with money, they flip that script entirely. They think income minus my savings equals what I have left for expenses. It's called paying yourself first. You treat your savings like it's your most important bill, and you just learn to live on the rest. It's incredibly powerful. And then there's the other path, the debt spiral. And trust me, it's as scary as it sounds. It all starts when you spend just a little more than you earn, maybe on a credit card. Before you know it, a chunk of your income is just going to pay off that debt. Then that chunk gets bigger, you need more loans to get by, and eventually it can lead straight to bankruptcy. It is a terrifyingly easy trap to fall into. Okay, so let's say you're saving, you're avoiding debt. That is fantastic. You're already ahead of the game. But now it's time to level up. It's time to move beyond just putting money aside and start making your money actually work for you. This is where the magic happens. It's a little thing called compound interest. See, with simple interest, you only ever earn interest on the money you first put in. But with compound interest, you start earning interest on your interest. It creates this incredible snowball effect. Just look at this table. After only 5 years, you can already see a pretty big difference. Now imagine that over 20 or 30 years. It's the single most powerful engine for building wealth. So finally, let's zoom out and ask the biggest question of all. We've talked about mindset, net worth, savings, investing, but why? What's the point of all this? What is the real goal of having money? To really get to the heart of this, the book tells a beautiful, simple story. It starts with an American investment banker who's on vacation in a tiny Mexican village. And one day, he meets a local fisherman. The banker is really impressed with the fisherman's catch, and his business mind starts racing. He tells the fisherman, "You could scale this, buy more boats, build a whole fleet, open your own factory, control the entire process. Eventually, you could move to New York City to run your global empire." He says it would take about 15, maybe 20 years of hard work. So the fisherman asks him, "Okay, and then what?" The banker smiles, and he lays out the grand prize at the end of this 20-year hustle. He says, "Then you retire. You'll sell your company for millions, move to a quiet little coastal village, sleep in late, maybe fish a little, play with your grandkids."
And the fisherman just smiles, and he asks, "How is that any different from what I'm doing right now? I mean, he already wakes up late, fishes a little, and spends his days with his family and friends."
Wow, that question just kind of hangs in the air, doesn't it? It really makes you stop and think. What is the point of all that work, all that ambition? What's the real lesson here?
Well, the lesson is this. Money isn't the destination. It's just the vehicle. It's the tool that can help you get where you actually want to go. So the most important work you'll ever do is figuring out what kind of life you truly want to live first. Once you know what your finish line looks like, you can use your financial plan as the map to get there, finding that sweet spot between ambition and just being happy. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. The goal is not to die with the biggest pile of cash. The goal is to use money wisely and intentionally as a tool to build and live the life you have always dreamt of.